Hello everyone, welcome back to some more of The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Last time, a great deal of things happened. Shamster gave his testimony, and we couldn't exactly find anything wrong with it, so we got declared guilty, leading to our very first, of this game, summation examination, where, we were able to turn the tides and get the witness, the victim's credibility as a witness, in jeopardy. And in jeopardy as it was, because as it turns out, the guy was a gas thief. He'd been freezing ice into coin shapes, putting them into the gas machine, I don't remember what it's called, but the thing that you pay to supply gas, and then he actually digged out a hole under the gas machine, so that way when the room would get warm, the coin would melt into water, which he could then, use back or something. I don't know. Anyways, once that was found out, we have to prove that it was actually the witness/victim that actually did it. And we did so by, of course, telling them that, hey, there's a lot of stuff like this in his house. And so, there they went, to explore the house while the trial's been postponed. Meaning, we get another investigation segment. Let's see what we find this time. Alright. 22nd of February, 1:11 p.m. Naruhodo's legal consultancy. I cannot talk for some reason. We made it back in one piece. Just. To be perfectly honest, I thought we were finished there for a while. Oh, I know. What a lot of close shaves. There are so many carriages on the streets of London. He was very nearly flattened several times. Oh, no, I didn't mean that. Yes, I know. It was a marvelous defense, Naruhodo-san. It really was. I was in awe of you. Oh, thank you. And now that your fervent exploits have won us some more precious investigation time, let's see if we can't find some more new clues for court tomorrow. That does not sound too subtle, does it? Whatever. Yes, let's do that. Is everything alright? I suppose so. I still can't quite believe it, that's all. That I'm here in England working as a lawyer, I mean. In the Old Bailey, no less. The truth is, it shouldn't be me, should it? It should be him standing in my shoes. It should be Kazuma. It was Kazuma-sama's wish that you follow him to Great Britain and work alongside him. Yes, I mean, I never had a chance to ask him exactly why, but he clearly had a plan. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for him. And you're doing wonderfully, Naruhodo-san. I've no doubt that Kazuma-sama would say exactly the same if you were here with us. Thank you, Susato-san. Thank you. Alright. I guess we'll talk to Susato a bit more. We don't have much place to go. Decide how to proceed. Yeah, we'll definitely just do that now. We can go to just about everywhere else. Yes. Oh, I guess we're supposed to go to Miss Green's place? Whatever. Anyways. It was quite a shock earlier today, wasn't it? When the victim himself turned up in court and took the stand. I know. Not only that, but then finding out that he's actually our barefaced gas thief as well. Yes, that was certainly a surprise to us all. For a while, it seemed as though everyone had quite forgotten about Susagi-san poisoning the tea. carefully your phrasing, Sato-san. You didn't poison anything. And there's more to this Mr. Shamspear than we yet know. I'm sure of it. Mr. Shamspear clearly wasn't the noble, upstanding man everyone thought he was at first. What's become of him, actually? I was told that he'd be returning to the hospital ward where he was receiving treatment. Oh, which one is that? Let me see. Ah, yes. He's at St. Bartholomew's, or Bart's, as the Londoners call it. We know that place, don't we? Yes. We visited Miss Green there yesterday. It's the same hospital to which she was taken. Ah, yes. After Soseki-san stabbed her in the back. Do be careful of your phrasing, Naruhodo-san. He didn't stab anyone. Perhaps we both owe Soseki-san an apology. St. Bartholomew's. Yes, we should probably visit the hospital later. Well, that goes right into whatever's next. So, we know that Soseki-san took the tea to the victim on the night in question. But as he isn't the culprit, then obviously... Yes, the poison surely wasn't in the tea. But if that's the case, how on earth did the poison get into Mr. Shamspear's body? I'm sure we'll find a clue at the scene. There must be something in Mr. Shamspear's room that will help us solve the mystery. Well, naturally, Scotland Yard's detective had been over their place already. But it couldn't hurt for us to have another look around, I think. Definitely. And I'm desperate to know the outcome of the investigation into the tea left in the bar of soap. Well, if we went to Inspector Gregson, we could ask him about that. And what about Kazuma's wishes? Kazuma Silgi. The best friend I ever had. And a lawyer with such promise. Yeah, why did the music just cut off like that? Really? He really saved my bacon in that horrible incident just before we left Japan. I can still picture him now, looking so fierce and determined in court. And then, after the trial, that crazy idea he came up with. As a stowaway? Yes. You can fit inside my trunk if you curl up small enough, I'm sure. No one will know. Kazuma, won't you tell me why? Why go to these lengths so that I can accompany you to Great Britain? Well, it's been on my mind ever since we got through that trial, that you really ought to go into law, be a defense lawyer. You've got a natural talent for it. Believe me, I guarantee it. But I've never even thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, I can't force you, obviously. You'll have to decide for yourself. But anyway, London is the cultural capital of the world, the city at the forefront of everything. It can't hurt for you to see it with your own eyes. No, that's true. I suppose, though, if you were to become a lawyer, then one day... One day what? Oh, no. Never mind. Yeah? Really? You're gonna be that, like... Oh yeah, if you're gonna be a lawyer, then one day... One day what? Oh, never mind. Yeah? That's not suspicious to you, Ryunosuke? Naruhodo-san? Oh, sorry, I was just thinking about Kazuma. Yes, he's forever in my thoughts too. To change the Japanese judicial system for the better. That was his dream. And that's why he so desperately wanted to come to London. To Great Britain to study, of course. Yes, that's right. But... Yes? I do wonder if his true intentions lay elsewhere sometimes. I don't know. The thought just takes hold of me every now and then, that's all. Naruhodo-san, what do you mean by Kazuma-sama's true intentions? I mean, this. His katana? I never expected to inherit this sword after Kazuma passed away, of course. No, I know. It was because I asked you to take it. When I have it at my side in court, I feel as though it gives me courage. Yes. Actually, the night before he died, he told me a little about the sword. Karuma?
That's right. It's a prized sword that's been passed down through generations of the Asogi clan. A Japanese man's sword is his soul, Inosuke. I can't be parted from my katana. Karuma guides me. I truly believe that.
So its name compels its wielder to slice evil in two? Not that you would need much compelling.
On that subject, there's something very important I have to do in Great Britain.
Something you have to do?
Yes. I'd appreciated you seeing it through with me.
Of course I will. Whatever it is, I'll see it through to the end with you. Plus, I literally still wait on this ship for you, so it's not like I can go back if I wanted to. Like,
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
What did he mean by something very important that I have to do? I had hoped the answer to that question would become apparent when we arrived here, but as yet, I've not found a single clue. I see. Alright, well, we have a few places to go, namely the hospital and Mr. Shamspeare's room. Let's head to the suite first. See if Mr. Sholmes and Iris got anything to say to us.
Oh, Runo and Susie! Hooray! You're back!
Hello, Iris. You're in fine spirits as always, I see.
I am! And you look as immaculately presented as ever, Susie.
Oh, you flatter me.
Well, you couldn't have come at a better time. I've just made a pot of tea. I'll set some cups.
You know, I really need to find a better voice for Iris. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, good. Alright, we're back. Okay, sorry. I literally just dropped my, Joy-Con. Whatever. Anyways. Yeah, I need to come with a better Iris voice, or find some plug-in for OBS that helps me change my voice on the fly like this. Whatever. Really? Thanks, Iris. But actually, what is that foul smell? Aha! The Wanderers will return at last. Where on earth have the pair of you been? We've been in court? Oh, for Mr. Mustache's case? That was today, wasn't it? I'm sure I mentioned it only yesterday, Mr. Sholmes. I'm sure you think you did. Well, we can laugh about it now. So tell me, how did the trial go? Reasonably well so far. We've managed to escape without a guilty verdict at least. Really, I would have liked to see it. And I must pass the time of day with Mr. Reaper again. It's been too long. Is Lord Van Zeeks an acquaintance, Mr. Sholmes? Naturally. There's not a person in the world who doesn't know my name, Mr. Naruhodo. Not quite what I asked, but still. Mr. Sholmes, whatever is that odor? Yes, what is it? It's faint, but absolutely awful. Ah, indeed. That's the scent of victory, my dear fellows. Victory in science. Oh dear. Alright, a bite. What's he up to now? What are you doing? Oh yeah, how do you know Lord Van Zieks? Lord Baruch Van Zieks. Yes. It's an interesting sobriquet he has, isn't it? The Reaper of the Bailey. Once the legendary prosecutor has fought for someone's conviction, that person is doomed. Even if he or she is found not guilty by the courts, sooner or later, the hapless soul will vanish from the capital. But vanish how exactly? By falling under a passing carriage, or drowning in the Thames, or succumbing to a sudden fever, or, quite out of the blue, being set upon by a highwayman. There are numerous routes to find one's final terminus, my dear fellow. It all seems a little far-fetched, really. Well, on the bright side, Mr. Mustache is fighting fit, for the time being at least. That's not overly reassuring.
If the rumors are true, though, the obvious conclusion would surely be that those acquitted are, well, by Lord Van Zieks' own hand.
As it happens, Mr. Sato, that is quite impossible.
Oh? Why?
Naturally, the man very quickly came under such suspicion. However, whenever these incidents occurred, the Reaper always had a cast-iron alibi. Really? And so his reign continued, but 5 years ago, he vanished from the courts, never to appear as a prosecutor again. That is, until you arrived in court into the country, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, so I've heard. In fact, it was the very day I arrived, when I was thrust into that trial at the Old Bailey. That bitter fight to the death coincided with the Reaper's resurrection, and it really did end bitterly indeed. Yet here you are, facing Mr. Reaper again.
Poor Runo. I don't know if you're just incredibly unlucky, or incredibly unlikable.
I think it goes deeper than just me. I sense a general loathing for all Japanese people. With Mr. Natsume, who I'm currently defending being Japanese, as well as Mr. Sato and myself, I felt it even more keenly in court today. For some reason, Lord Van Zieks seems to have an inherent disdain of the Japanese. Indeed, it is an interesting observation.
Do you know something about it? Do you, Mr. Sholmes?
It was about 10 years ago that Baruch Van Zieks chose to enter the legal profession. However, before that time, the young man's closest companion hailed from the Empire of Japan.
No.
What the? Tell us more, Mr. Sholmes. What happened? I believe I've made it clear before. I'm unable to tell you anything about the affair.
Oh, but...
The veil will be lifted on the events of the past in due course, I have no doubt. For now, however, it is Mr. Mustache who is most deserving of your attention, I believe. Yeah? He's gonna be all cryptic about it, Sholmes? So, what is that indescribably foul smell? Ah, well, most probably this, I would say. What is that? My dear fellow, it is, of course, my latest invention. A chemical test that can identify whether or not a tea is genuine at the drop of some tea.
Oh my.
There are some unscrupulous sorts manning the stalls along some of London's less frequented streets. They regularly sell what purports to be high-quality tea, but is in fact merely dyed leaves of drab flavor. Well, that's certainly unsavory behavior. So, when one is presented with what appears to be black tea, one must be careful. Iris.
At the ready, Hurley.
Let us add a drop of my chemical to this cup of tea here. Do you see what happens? It's turning completely black.
And what a foul odor it's giving off.
Indeed, the blacker the tea becomes, the more foul the odor, the better the tea is. It would appear that this cup was a particularly fine Darjeeling. That's very ingenious. But what do you do with that black liquid now? Why, dispose of it naturally. Surely you wouldn't like to drink it, would you?
There does seem to be a rather obvious problem with your new invention, Mr. Sholmes.
Yeah, you're gonna have to brew a whole cup of tea just to test it out.
Hence why this chemical test is merely a test, my dear madam.
Right.
The point is, we are entering a new era of science, in the world of criminal investigation, also. Yes, forensic science. Oh, these are such exciting times.
That's what it was. I had to put my voice into it. I regularly engage in this scientific experimentation alongside my unofficial consulting detective work. The Sherlock-Holmes method will be the foundation upon which modern investigative techniques is based. This little tea indicant was a happy byproduct of my ongoing forensic science research. Forensic science? Guess I should find out more about that. So, your tea test. Is that an example of forensic science?
Indeed it is.
An essential tool in cases that hinge on the knowledge of whether some tea is of high or inferior quality. Not a huge number of cases, then.
Perhaps a more practical example is required. Fingerprints?
Not yet accepted in our courts as evidence, I might add. Really, we are dragging our heels there. I hadn't even heard of them until recently. Which is partly why I undertake research in this field myself, of course.
Does that mean you're studying fingerprints, Mr. Sholmes?
There are others in that field already, and I abhor the company of inferior minds. No, what I am researching is skin prints. Skin prints? A nomenclature of my own design, as is this chemical agent that makes it possible. It instantly reveals objects touched by whichever person is under investigation.
Brilliant, Mr. Sholmes.
As long as it doesn't turn everything completely odorous and black. I assure you, my dear fellows, you will witness my forensic talents in action very soon indeed. Well, I think we should go back to the scene and see if we can uncover any new clues.
That's the spirit, Bruno. See you later.
Yes, until later. Aww. No, Mr. Sholmes. We were thinking you'd come with us. You were? Yes, of course. You said so just a moment ago. You said we witnessed your forensic talents in action. Ah, yes, I do recall saying something along those lines. But you go on ahead. I shall be sure to follow you later, in all likelihood. Probably. Maybe. Well, I might. Your commitment astounds me.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Sholmes. We'll eagerly await your arrival. Bye-bye, Bruno. Bye, Susie.
Alright. Well, Sholmes isn't exactly going to follow us anytime soon, so I guess, well, We can either visit the prison, we have no reason to go on Briar Road anytime anymore. So it's really just these two. We have to decide where to go. Well, let's go to Miss Green's room first. We haven't seen her in a while. Alright. Well, actually, I do have to figure out a voice for her, don't I?
I think I'll go with this for now.
I mean, it's not much of a girly voice, but hey, I can't think of anything else. And that mouse is still here. Yeah, is he a patient? What do you suppose is happening? It sounds like some sort of disturbance. Yes, I hear angry voices. Oh. Be not angry, O ample lady. Verily, thou art mistaken. Mistaken my foot. You were looking at my painting. The eye of man hath not heard, the ear of man hath not seen. 'Twas foul indeed, the poison that mustache villain gaveth me. Forgive me, lady.
I wish that you died from that poison.
God a mercy, ample lady, but thou seest I have vigor still. Behold my Shakespeare dance. This looks rather ominous, doesn't it? Swear to God, if someone makes that into a meme. Ah, lo, 'tis the lawyer from the land whence riseth the sun. How now? What are you doing here, Mr. Shakespeare? Mary, I do believe I'm returned unto another ward. He was looking, that's what he was doing, looking at my terrible work. Eastern fellow, so darkly clad, faith, thy work in court this morning was wonderful. I do applaud thee. Ah, well, I'm sorry, what? You applaud me? We called you a liar and proved you were a scammer. Or a thief, I should say. And you're proud of us? What? Oh, well, thank you. But that doesn't mean things will go so wonderfully for you tomorrow, does it? Oh. Anon, excellent. Yeah? Bro bent what I'm assuming gold baton and then just fix it back like it's nothing? Mr. Shakespeare might technically be the victim in this case, but there's definitely a lot more to it than that, and it's very hard to pin the man down.
I'm so sorry. I'm such an awful person.
Ah, Miss Green, is everything alright?
Oh, yes. I mean, don't worry about me. They're about to discharge me, so I must get ready to leave now.
Oh, I see. We're delighted that you'll soon be well enough to go home, Miss Green.
Oh, dear, you're too kind. I don't deserve it.
Yeah, a lot of preparation you're doing. So, are you feeling more like yourself today, Miss Green?
I am. Thank you. I mean, people do recover from ordeals like this, don't they? Even people like me?
My God, lady, are you depressed or something? Seriously. That's like, what, 4 different, I'm not good enough statements in, like, the span of a few minutes? Like, seriously. And I'm not even trying to, like, joke or whatever, like, really? Oh, well. Anyways. Well, yes, it really was an ordeal, wasn't it? As far as I'm concerned, I was just walking along in the snow one evening, minding my own business, and then, completely out of the blue, I was struck in the back by a knife and collapsed unconscious for days. Of course, when I finally woke up again yesterday, the whole business had been cleared up already.
What a terrible week it's been for you.
Oh, no, I'm sure I'm very lucky, really. I look back on this fondly.
Really? You look back on getting stabbed in the back fondly?
Anyway, I must be getting my things together now, so I'm ready to be discharged.
Oh, yes, of course. Sorry to take up your time when you're obviously...
Oh, that's me. Oh yes, of course. Sorry to take up your time when you're obviously busy. Well, time to go now, I'm afraid. You already looked at everything here. Set on out. To Shamsier's room. And yes, we actually need to do this after we talk to Mr. Sholmes, otherwise... we wouldn't be able to see his techniques. Oh, hello, Great Inspector Gregson.
What are you doing here?
Well, we were hoping to have another look around, actually.
The lawyer representing the defendant has a right to examine the scene, as I'm sure you're aware.
Yeah, I know the score.
Oh, yes, one other thing. The soap on the ledge outside of the window. Did you find it? With the tea in it?
Yeah, we found it alright. And there was a small amount of tea in it, as you said.
I knew it.
It's with the identification section at the yard now. They're looking into it. The results should be available later today.
That's wonderful news. Thank you.
Pretty impressive performance in court this morning.
Sorry?
Nothing. Forget it. Just make sure you don't disturb anything in here.
Oh, yeah, see? If we didn't look around, Sholmes wouldn't be here. So, yeah. I guess let's look around before we talk to him. Ah, the ill-fated teacups from which the two men drank on the ill-fated night.
During their heated literary debate, yes.
Who's stronger, Romeo or Juliet? Sounds like it was quite a discussion.
Now I think about it, I'm sure that the two lovers in the play ended their lives with poison.
Well... did it, though? No. Is that what happened? The thing is, because Romeo... at the end of the story, Romeo... found Juliet, but she was like asleep or knocked out, and then he thought she was dead, so he drank poison. But then Juliet wakes up and then finds out Romeo's dead, so she drinks the poison too. Okay, never mind. Okay, I literally just have to remember it for a second there.
That's fiction, Mr. Sato. Let's hope it stays that way.
Alright, what about the window? The sun never shines in this room, thanks to that depressing bricked-up window.
Yet, with enough determination, you can always remove the bricks to set some soap outside, can't you?
That sounds like a very wise life lesson, Mr. Sato.
Only if you plan to follow a life of crime, Mr. Naruhodo.
Huh. Oh well. Ooh, let's look at this again, actually. If you ran out of change, you wouldn't even have any light, let alone heat. Poor and needy, London's winters can be very harsh.
That's true, but if you think about it, even the wealthy would find themselves freezing if they ran out of small change.
London's winters can be very harsh for the forgetful too, then. Frankly, I'm starting to wonder if Susato-san are going to make it to spring.
That's true. We don't even have a meter at the Baker Street, let alone a gas stove.
Look how dark this down on the floor is underneath the meter there.
Yes, from all the water dripping out after the ice coins melted, as you established in court this morning.
It's a very large and obvious stain, isn't it?
Mr. Shakespeare must have used an awful lot of ice coins, I suppose.
But then... wait a second. why would you not put a bucket or at least a cup or something down there? That way it drips into the cup, and then you can use that cup to pour into the soap bars to get more ice cubes. Seriously, that would have been a lot easier to do than having to use tea or something. I mean, seriously, what are you gonna do? Like, matter of fact, if you need water that badly, it's winter. Literally just walk outside, get some snow, and... Wait a second. Can snow melt into water? I'm gonna check Google and see. Can snow... I don't care if it's recording, I'm doing this anyways. Snow melt into water. Let's see here. Yeah. Once the temperature warms above 32 degrees Fahrenheit, snow and ice melts into water. Yes. Now, yeah, you could really just melt the snow. It was an ingenious idea, I'll give him that. Anything for Gregson to say? Are you looking for new clues, Inspector?
On Lord Van Zeke's orders, yeah. Don't come back till you got something for me, he says. Tuh.
Oh dear, poor you.
Oh, that's great. Poor you, wow.
Yeah, poor me. But we've already searched every bleeding nook and cranny in this place. I don't know what he expects, to be honest. Thank goodness for warm chips is all I can say.
Well, at least he's honest. What do you have for us, Sholmes? Mr. Sholmes, what are you up to over there? What a question, indeed. Was it not your good self who asked me to attend the scene?
Oi! What are you doing here, Sholmes?
What are you up to over there? What are you doing here? Dear me, once a great detective, one is always under scrutiny, it seems.
Is it now the time, Mr. Sholmes? Are you going to show us your forensic talents in action as you promised?
With the greatest of pleasure, my dear madam. Alright. What are you going to do today? What's all this? Why are you wearing your fox mask? Ooh. Oh, they actually made a little animation for that? That's lovely. All this is precisely what you requested, Mr. Naruhodo. Sherlock Holmes' sensational skin print secret gun. Yeah, a revolver? Moments ago, I took a sample from the teacup that was used by the victim. A sample? From Shamsphere's cup? Each individual leaves behind microscopic secretions on everything he or she touches. A sample of those secretions is all I need to produce this, a refined indicator solution. By liberally spraying the room with this chemical, everything the victim touched is instantly revealed with the aid of these goggles. Here, try them on. There. Now spray the chemical indicator about, and all will be revealed. Spray? How do I do that with the gun of all things? No, really. Hold up. The spray? The revolver's a spray? Really? Like, what do you do when you run out of all 6 shots? Do you gotta reload? How do you reload? What? Whatever. Anyways. Ah, what is that stuff? It's like fog. A suspension of the chemical indicator in a pressurized gas is the most efficient way to cover a large area. That was another invention I discovered incidentally whilst I was developing this idea. As you do. Go ahead, try it, my dear fellow. We may learn something interesting about the victim's movements on the night in question. Well, there's nothing to lose, I suppose. Let's explore. Let's spray out everything. Makes sense. The gas man, I assume? Well... Why are there hands on the wall? What are you doing on the wall, my guy? Look, there isn't a handprint here. So there are. A great many indeed. So much that it's hard to make out any one individual print, in fact. So you must come here often. Since it showed down my spine, yeah. So if there's so many, that means he must come here often. Perhaps he was leaning against the wall while he admired this picture? Unlikely, I would say. It's a rather dull scenery, after all. And without wishing to say the obvious, you wouldn't generally admire a picture from such close quarters, I feel. Oh, very true, Mr. Sato. Oh, Mr. Sato? Oh, whatever. A bit of a mystery, then. Huh. Alright. Is there anything over here? Yeah, why are your hands all over this room? Whatever. Let's get to where we actually want to go. Which is right here. Oh, look at all this here. Ah, yes, interesting. A multitude of the victim's handprints. Why are there so many of them on the floor in this one spot? Oh, perhaps he had a bad fall just here? There's nothing obvious about that he would have tripped over, though, is there? I wonder. Personally, I often stumble when there's nothing obvious to trip over. I think that's something only a great detective would do, Mr. Sholmes. Well, this is quite a puzzle. Handprints all over the floor. Yes, there's no obvious explanation. Yeah, there is. He was on the floor. Well, we sprayed Mr. Sholmes' amazing skin print indicator all over this room, didn't we? We did, but there are two places in particular that are of interest, I would say. The handprints on the floor there. And on the wall by the picture, you mean? Yes, and I think the floor warrants closer investigation. I won't be a moment. Ah! What is it, Mr. Sato? Look here, Mr. Naruhodo. One of the floorboards has popped out. One of the... You mean... It's a secret hiding place? Excellent work, Mr. Sato. So, what do we have in here?
Oi! What are you lot doing?
Ah, Inspector Gregson.
Stand aside, right this minute. It's my job to investigate there.
Noted, Inspector. You continue to dig into your portion of chips, whilst we dig around under the floor here.
Your fancy talk's putting me off my food anyway, Sholmes. A new bit of evidence is exactly what I need, so I can leave.
Wow, a secret hiding place under the floor. What a find. It's not a hiding place you could make a use of in Japan. I don't think I could lift a straw tatami mat. No, I know. But I never expected one of these wooden floorboards to move either. It's got me wondering about the wall over there too. Aren't you curious? Oh, I'll investigate it once. There's nothing behind the picture, sadly. Only the wall. How disappointing. But then, how do you explain the handprints? I really can't think of why anyone would be touching the wall over and over in one place like that. Excuse me? Someone catch us on 4K? There you are, a print for you. Oh, whatever then. Oh, thank you very much. His invention can make prints too? Now then, I wonder if Inspector Gregson has found anything under the floor there. I'm desperate to know. So am I. Okay, what'd you find, Gregson? I'd love to know if there's anything hidden under that floorboard there. Allow me to ask Gregson now. After all, we're all well acquainted. Inspector Gregson, really, it's been too long.
What is it, Sholmes?
I thought perchance you might show me what you found there, seeing as though we're such good friends.
We're not friends.
No, I suppose not. A dismal failure. Yes, I heard. I'd kill to know what was under that floorboard.
Alright then, fair's fair.
What?
You did discover the hiding place after all. Suppose I should at least fill you in.
Really, Inspector? Thank you. Do it quickly, my dear fellow. If there's one thing I know about this man, is that he blows with the wind, as fickle as the weather.
Oi! Stop making me out to be some kind of nut. There were 3 items on the floor there. A newspaper clipping, a photographic print, and a tin box. Now, what do you want to know?
Let's hear the newspaper.
It looks like this was cut out of the paper about 3 months ago. It's about a convict who got sick and died while he was serving up time in Manchester.
That's terrible.
It made the headlines down in London as well. The bloke had been sentenced to death, you see, but nature got him first.
Oh my goodness, he committed a capital offense?
Man by the name of Selden. Nasty piece of work, into burglaries and murder. They say that all he knocked off was about worth about £1,000.
A hoard? Of treasure, you mean?
Jewelry and the like, but he hid it somewhere, and no one knows where. And now he's dead. The papers loved it, of course. £1,000 lost en route to hell, or some such was the headlines.
Does it not strike you, though? Why such an article will be so carefully ensconced under the floor? Yeah, show him using all these words today. Ensconced. I need to type that in to look at later. Settle in for a while. Okay, whatever.
I suppose now you mention it, it does seem a bit odd. Perhaps I'll go over the paperwork we got all settled in back at the yard and see if I can't turn anything up.
Alright then. Interesting. Let's hear about the photographic print next.
So, this is the photograph I found. Looks reasonably recent to me.
Yes. It would appear to have been taken on the street in the front of the house here. And the gentleman on the left is Mr. Garrett, the landlord, of course. Who's the young man on the right? We've seen him before, haven't we? Mr. Garrett's son, perhaps?
Perhaps. You can check that print if you like.
Really? Are you sure? We can presume, therefore, that the yard already knows. The identity of the young fellow, that is. Ah! Is that true?
Well, it's too bad if we do. Unfortunately for you lot, leaking information isn't one of my pastimes.
My dear Inspector, if I may be so bold as to point something out. Pastimes are for one's leisure, but this is for work.
All the more reason I'm not telling you.
A dismal failure. Yes, I heard. Well, we have a photograph, so that's good. I wonder why a photograph like this was hidden under the floor. I mean, Mr. Shakespeare himself isn't in it. Photographic prints are still rare treasures in the East End. I imagine Mr. Garrett was rather delighted to have been immortalized. He probably made a proud present of it.
Hey, what about this box?
Now, this tin box look interesting, doesn't it?
Might I suggest, Inspector, that you open it? If you were to find something inside that reveals the truth behind this case, I wouldn't be the least surprised.
Yeah, funny enough, I already had a look. It's completely empty.
What? Shamsphere, give us a clue, man! You didn't even have the chance to utter a word, Mr. Naruhodo. But anyway, at least we found out what's inside the box. Yes, thin air. It's empty, rather like how I feel inside.
Well, that just means he took something out.
Is there nothing more to this box then, I wonder? What? Wakahai. What are you doing here? Oh look, it's that lovely kitty cat. What was its name? It's Mr. Nutsmaze, isn't it? I don't think we ever asked him, actually. Why do we call it, Wakahai? You know, like Mr. Nutsmaze refers to himself in Japanese. What? What? He refers to himself in Japanese? But I thought the Japanese version of referring to yourself is like, what, watashi or something? Whatever. I wonder how we got here. Clever cat. Are there tunnels between the rooms? Oh, wonderful. Well then, Wakahai, here's something delicious I brought for you from the cat's meat man. He couldn't be happier now. Look. I just hope he can bring some happiness to his owner. Well, I don't think there's much we can do here. That was a cheeky little meow, Wakahai. Oh, but he's so adorable. I could sit and watch him forever. I think he may not appreciate that after a while. And we have an investigation to get back to. Alright, well... there's nothing else to do here. And frankly, I'm getting a little tired, so... I think we'll end things off here for now. Last place we have to go to is probably the prison to visit Mr. Natsume, but... yeah, beyond that, there's one more place to go after we visit the prison, actually, I think. So, yeah. Overall, really nice episode today, and, yeah, we definitely did a lot, I think. So, well, we didn't do a lot, I don't think. We really just went to some rooms and talked to some people, but, hey, it is what it is. Anyways, that will be it for this episode, and I thank you all for watching.